हेलो। नहीं आ रहा है ना। हेलो। ये कब खरीद ले? ये कब खरीद लिए? हेलो। 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 नहीं ना, फुल साउंड है। हेलो। 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 अरे हेलो। 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 हेलो आ रहा है एकदम क्लियर। एक 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 क्लियर रहा है। जो भी स्पीकर है ना, इसको लगा के बोलने के लिए, फादर को लगाने का, तो इसमें से यूट्यूब के लिए जा रहा है, क्लियर आवाज आएगा। पास करने के, पास करने के। युट्यूबवर जाणार आहे म्हणजे पास करता माईक, माईक आहे, युट्यूबवर जाणार आहे व्हिडिओ आपला, त्यामुळे पास करत राहा. हां, पास करत राहा. काय पास करायचं? हे काय माईक इंट्रोडक्शन साठी? अरे हे आता कसं युट्यूबवर जाणार आहे ना, त्याच्यामुळे क्लिअर व्हॉइस जायला पास करायचं. अरे ही बघ. ये बहुत अच्छा सुसाइड शिवम, फिर जो है वो बोल देना बस, जो है वो टॉपिक जाओ. ए हर्षा, हर्षा सांगा, सांग मग.
A very good evening to one and all. Respected principals, Honorable Adam Officer, Vice Principal, esteemed members of the faculty, and all educators present at this office. It is apparent that the most common weakness of our cadets facing the services selection board is their communication skills. It is quite ironical that despite having such a multifarious exposure in this grand edifice of knowledge, our cadets are not good enough to articulate their real work to their assessors in services selection board. In order to overcome these roadblocks and hone their communication skills, ladies and gentlemen, we introduced this competition in the academic year 2019-20, and this is the second edition of this competition. Let me be very clear that this competition is definitely part of the overall Interhouse Championship for the year 2022-23. Now, what is Lecturette? The Lecturette is one of the most effective tools of assessment in the hands of a group testing officer. It is essentially designed to gauge the self-confidence, knowledge from content, clarity of thought, depth of ideas, and most importantly, the power of expression of a candidate. We have designed and developed this competition on the same lines. Let me acquaint you with the rules and regulations of this competition. Every senior house will field a four-member squad for the competition. Apart from the first three individual positions, the team positions will be decided by the sum total of the points scored by the four-member team of each house. In this competition, a participant will be allowed to pick any one card from a randomly arranged box of cards. Every two cards will be having four topics written on it. The participant is given precisely 3 minutes to prepare and 3 minutes to speak on the selected topic. Before delivering the lecture, the participant must hand over the card to one of the judges and inform him about his selection of the topic for the lecture. The participants have to conclude their lecture within 3 minutes. A warning bell will be given just 30 seconds before the final 3-minute bell, and another bell after the full 3 minutes. Exceeding the time, participants will be penalized. The penalty will be decided by the jury. When one participant is speaking on stage, the next participant is simultaneously preparing backstage. There are no open house speakers. However, I do have a list of cadets, and from that list I'll pick up few names who have to come here and speak on stage. The points of this competition will be counted for Interhouse Championship 2022-23. Now let me introduce with you the participants of this competition. Now, Shastri House is being represented by Cadet Pranav Kumar Sakri, Cadet Harsh V. Pawar, Cadet Ashar Bisle, Cadet Anurag Yadav. Survey House is being represented by Cadet Vaishnavi Shetty, Cadet Claire Sindhe, Cadet Avinash Prajapati, Cadet K.S. Varma. The team of Interhouse comprises of Cadet Bose, Cadet Shivam Sitoria, Cadet Bhanu Kumar, and Cadet Suraj Desh. Rana Pratap House is being represented by Cadet Yash Varshney, Cadet Krishna Shukla, Cadet Pranav Pawar and Cadet Ajay Gold. The judges for the competition are Lieutenant Colonel Manisha Darwas, Vice Principal SAINIK SATARA. This is R.N. Patil, Department of English. This is M.S. Kadam, Department of English. Now let's begin this competition. Cadet Pranav Kumar Sharkey, you can pick your card and then your 3 minutes will start.
Good evening. IndiaPakistan stands for the non-governmental organization which aims to work for the human development and its works for the human development. Now, common topic: what are the main purposes of NGO? NGO helps the government in the NGO helps the government in the many ways. Government it also covers the childless homes and the children. NGO, NGO. Good evening to Good evening to everyone. I Cadet Pranav Kumar from Lal Bahadur Shastri House. Good evening to everyone, respected principal, vice principal, admin officer, members of the jury, members of the faculty, and all my dear Rajikans present in this August house. Today, I am Cadet Pranav Kumar is going to speak on the topic NGO. NGO stands for the non-governmental organization. This word was introduced by the UN in 1915. This the organization aims for the development and the research for the human rights and human welfare. Its main function is to help the humans in need and give them the full shelter which they require for their livelihood. There are many NGOs in the world which helps the humans in providing full shelter, information, welfare, and so there are many types of NGO which works in the many ways. There is a NGO of uh, heart diseases also, which helps the heart patients in getting them the medicines and the treatment which they require for their treatment, and also the things like uh, the operations and the operation costs. There are many trusts and the ministers which run these NGOs and help them to and help the NGOs to grow and build the environmental friendly environment. There are also many other NGOs like UDYAPAN NGOs which help the old age farmers for their crops and growth development. At last, I would say that the NGOs are the boons to the society, which help the NGOs in many ways. That's all with me. Thank you.
Good evening to one and all present here. Here is Cadet Vaishnavi Sherke from Class 12, Karve House, and I would like to brief you on cross-border terrorism. Firstly, what is cross-border terrorism? Cross-border terrorism implies using the soil of one nation to extend terror and fear in that nation. Cross-border terrorism is being used as the highest strategy to influence terror activities in one nation for prolonged time. Cross-border terrorism is considered as it is the highest form of strategy to destroy a nation and bleed its civilians. India has a border of around 15,000 kilometer land border and 7,500 kilometers of coastline border. Securing India's border is very difficult as India's border are very rough in terrain and our security is very minimal in number. That's why it becomes difficult to secure India's borders. Examples of coastline terrorism is the 26/11 attack of Mumbai. It is a terrorism caused due to coastline terror and Pulwama attack which happened on 14th Feb 2019 is the terrorism which was caused due to land militants. India has worked a lot to prohibit terrorism throughout the world. It is urging all the nations to work against terrorism. We know that India has very concordant relationships with China and Pakistan. That's why it becomes very much difficult for us to protect our borders. Parallelly, we also have terrorism from northeastern sector and even from coastlines. India has started National Terror Agency, which protects India's borders and prohibits terror activities in the nation. Terrorism, due to terrorism, a lot of military personnel, civilians, police, and lot of police personnel bleed. Terror activities has see that our local people support terror activities due to money laundering, and we can see that senior officials also sometimes help terror activities. At last, I would like to say that we all should work together to stop terror activities. At sometimes it is also supported by local people, and the future officers should look into it that terrorism should not spread throughout the nation. That's all with me. Thank you.
Good evening to one and all, respected President, officer, Vice Principal, Senior Master, members of the jury, members of the faculty, and all my dear friends present in this award stall. I, Cadet Arjun, and I am going to speak on the topic CPEC, or what we know as China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. So we all know that China is covering India from every side, made from Myanmar side, Doklam, or from Jammu Kashmir, that is Aksai Chin, and now they signed treaty with Pakistan, that is CPEC. CPEC is a initiative of BRI, that is BRI, and CPEC consists of CPEC is of 3,000. CPEC in CPEC 3,000 military soldiers are launched in Pakistan. So to control the roads made by Chinese in Pakistan. CPEC it starts from Xinjiang province of China and ends in the Gwadar port of Pakistan. Now I will tell about what is the impact on India. So there is a huge impact on India, so because the Chinese soldier will also near the POK, that is Pakistan occupied Kashmir. So to react on this situation, we also started a port, that is Chabar port in Iran. So to if any condition occurs that Chinese are conquering the Indian Ocean, then we will have that Chabar port. Also, there are many roads initiative taken by Chinese in Pakistan to transfer the supply material Gulf from the Gulf countries to China. Now, in this phase, the CPEC is most important topic because China and India were friends, but now they are just like enemies because they also took the Doklam issue on the international level. Because of Doklam issue, India's and China's relations are not good. So they are Chinese are reacting on this CPEC very aggressively. They are building many buildings, military camp, many other things near the border of India. So to conclude, I would like to say that to react on CPEC, we should take the steps with our profit and should react wisely. Thank you.
Good evening to one and all. Respected principal, respected Adam officer, respected vice principal, members of the jury, members of the faculty, and all my dear Jenkins. Today, I, Cadet Yash Vashne of class 12th A from Rana Pratap House is going to acquaint you all with the future of science and technology. First, starting with the science. Science has helped us from the starting onwards till from when the humans adapted from monkey to humans. In science, we have also saw that vaccines developed have helped in human in very way. As that pandemic have happened many times, that we have invented new vaccines because of the help of science and have recovered through it. Talking about technology, technology starts from the mobile you use and to the satellites in the space itself. Now talking about some advantages of science and technology. The science and technology can be recently seen when in the COVID-19, all were in the homes and we were using our mobiles and laptops to get through the online classes, and the men were using it for going it through the jobs, for doing their jobs. There we felt that because of this technology, the economy didn't stop so badly, but we were able to go through it and we were able to live through it. Now, we in technology, talking about in India, we have developed the technology for vaccine, and the site it is used everywhere in the world. That site we have developed is now exported to major world, and they are using it for delivering the vaccines to the people there. Now talking about some disadvantages. Science and technology, talking about in it, the AI comes in which we have seen that AI may have some advantages, but there are major disadvantages in AI. As in AI, we can see that AI have the AI is expected to grow over humans and then take over them. Now, talking about the future of science and technology. In India, the future of science and technology is way ahead, because now the current generation is focusing on developing in it. The major, it can be seen in the medicines and everywhere, where companies like Practo have come up and many more that are delivering what we can say medicines without the help of it. Now, at last, to conclude, in my opinion, I felt that the future of science and technology in India is a very way ahead. Thank you. Good evening to everyone. I am Cadet Harshpawar, going to speak on the topic demonetization and implication. First of all, I will tell you about what is demonetization. Demonetization is one of the major steps taken by the government of the respective country. Demonetization is the step taken to curb black money, and also in demonetization new currency notes are introduced. Now there are various governments which have took steps for the demonetization and the curbing of black money. Now let's take a glance of various countries which are successful in demonetization and which are not successful in demonetization. First of all, I will tell you about UK, United Kingdoms. In the year 1971, this country introduced the biggest demonetization implication in their country, in which they adopted the decimal system. Also, it was the successful demonetization which took place. Also, it was the largest demonetization in their history. Now, talking about the country Nigeria. Second, Nigeria demonetized their country in the year in 1984 without informing the people. At midnight only, they demonetized their notes, and due to this demonetization the economy of the country was collapsed, so it was not that much successful. Now talking about the third country, that is Pakistan. In the year 2016, Pakistan demonetized their currency notes. 500 and 1000 rupees notes were demonetized in midnight only, they announced, but the people were not ready for this demonetization, so they were given a 6 years time period for to exchange their old notes till the December 31st, 2021. Now talking about the India. Before this also, India, there were three demonetizations occurred. In independence 1946, and when in 1976, when Morarji Desai, 500 rupees note, 1000 rupees note, 10,000 rupees notes were banned. And recently a Modi government also banned the 500 rupees note and 1000 rupees note. New currency was designed and 2000 rupees note and 5000 rupees notes were introduced. These steps are taken by the our Reserve Bank of the respective country. Now, at last, I want to say that India, this is a drastic change when government implies demonetization. Because of this, small businesses, small businesses are harmed. Also, the country moves towards the cashless transaction. That's all I may. Thank you. तो भाई
A very good evening to one and all. Respected principal, vice principal, admin officer, senior master, members of the jury, members of the faculty, and all my dear Ajinkans present in this August house. I am Cadil Shreyas and I am standing in front of you to speak on the topic censorship. You all might be wondering what is meant by censorship. Let me tell you. Censorship is a control which is exercised by the government or the ruling authority or the press or media which is being circulated or which is common in the people of its territory. We can example of censorship as of Vernacular Press Act, which was passed in the times of British to control the articles which were against the British government and their policies. It was an act which was very opposed by the people of India, and it became a matter of protest in the country. Talking about censorship, censorship is very prevalent in the People's Republic of China. As you all know, China is a communist nation, which means speaking against the government may land you up in jail or may get you killed by the government. As you all know, censorship is very prevalent in China. Speaking about censorship in China, uh, People's Republic of China is very very as you all know, speaking against the government such as Jack Ma. He is a very well-known billionaire of the world. He is the CEO of Alibaba Group of companies. Alibaba is an online platform just like Amazon where you can buy goods and services. Once he spoke against the government, and what happened next was he disappeared for more than 58 days. Then he came again on media just for 20 minutes. Thus, you can see censorship has a great effect on the people of China. As you all know, the Chinese army is also working with the government of China as it is also called the Communist Army because army of Chinese nation supports their government in this in exercising the authority of censorship. To conclude, I would like to say that censorship should be controlled in the economy and for the development of the country. Thank you.
good evening to one and all respected President, Administrative Officer, members of the jury, members of the faculty, and all my dear Ajinkans. I Cadet Shivam Sisodia from Tilak House, and I am here to express my views on the topic youth and politics. So first, let us know about the youth. In the whole world, youth comprises of the people who falls in between the age of 18 to 35. But in the category of youth, there are the teenagers who falls at the age nearly to the 18 to 22. And now my topic is that about the relation between youth and politics. So nowadays, most of the thinkers thought youth, those who are nearly to the age between the age of 18 to 22, are very unknowledgeable and inappropriate to enter in the world of politics. But I think that as our country has the largest democracy in this world, that's why our the decision which is taken to
should be taken by the government, should be comprises of the most consent. And as there are nearly 80% generation is between the youth category, that's why youth should be implemented in the politics, so that as per to make a better decision on any particular topics or any issues. But we have also seen that when in the forum of universities and large colleges, when politics conditions took place and elections takes place, then youth mostly took the help of violence, and many large fight has come up. So this is a very major issue and about the concern that whether youth should be participated in the politics or not. But we can say that though some people are there which makes these fights, but these fights. So I would like to say that in my opinion, youth should be concluded in the politics as per to make a better decision and for the betterment of the country. Thank you. बड़ी जल्दी टाइम निकल गया।
Good evening to one and all present here. Respected Principal Sir, Adam Officer, Vice Principal Ma'am, audience connected through virtual platform, members of the jury, members of the faculty, and all my dear Jenkins present in this august house. The topic I choose to deliver my lecturate today is health education. In this COVID times, we have faced the pandemic. The most important thing that fluttered all around was health. In the Western, when India is constantly scrutinized for being under Western influence, we are now having health problems. People usually have a routine in the IT sector where I have seen they just sit on the computers. This is impacting their health. To encounter this situation, CBSE even has recognized to add a subject name as health education. I remember my sister having a book which reads physical education and its implications. COVID-19, and there are many other diseases. The youth today is facing heart attacks. Depression is a common thing. We are under constant stress. When I talk about depression, no one here is aware of what depression is, how to deal with it, and how to deal with the mental and the physical torture. Health education has been a prominent issue, and at an early stage, if someone is aware that what health education is, it will be a great boon. How many of you are actually aware that 100 hair fall is normal for the day? We aren't aware of such thing. At students' life, at initial stage, when someone is aware that running is important, that waking up early is important, sweating in the ground is important, will not it help in his future life? So health education turns out to be very important. Health education has had significance. Washing hands, cleaning teeth, wearing proper dress, it all included. Health education has been like a country like India where the vast population, people of young age now are facing heart attacks. The blood circulation is now not correct, the BP issues. Like I recently remember my mama got diabetes and I was not aware of what normal range is from. Like it's from 140 to 80, like it's from 80 to 140. So I'm not aware of such things, and I'm supposed to get aware of such things. To conclude, I would like to say that just not CBSE, but all the schools, all the boards should introduce this to the curriculum, as it will help us in future. That's all I have with me. Thank you.
Good evening to all. Respected principal, Adam officer, members of the jury, members of the faculty, and all my dear Ajinkans present in this August gathering. I am Kat Atharva, and I would like to walk you through my topic, which is very important one for the present youth generation, that is regarding the cyber crimes. Well, first I would like to introduce to you what is a cyber crime. Cybercrime basically means use of computers or any internet or any other network to do the criminal activities. In India, there's a cybercrime every 10 minutes. It's a very alarming thing as the world is digitalizing with the modern digital currency, cryptocurrencies, and many other forms of means. Then we must be aware about the cyber crimes happening over the world. Aware how to prevent them and how to counter them. So I would like to introduce you to the types of cybercrime. First crime or cybercrime is a hacking, where hacking basically means to inject a virus into other network or a device to steal the data or to hamper the data. Or the virus might also be used to delete very important military data from any military from a specific country. Second type is phishing, where phishing means to obtain anyone's personal data illegally through emails, WhatsApp, or SMS. Third type and the most important type is cyber terrorism. Well, what is cyber terrorism? The cyber terrorism is the use of computers and networks to spread the ideology of terrorism in the mindset of the youth. This influences a youth in great amount. We all must be aware against it. Now, I would like to give you precautions to prevent this cyber crime. First and foremost precaution is set a good powerful password for whatever account you are opening and do remember it for sure. Second thing is be aware of the spam messages and spam calls coming on your mobile. Third is the most important one, that is you must contact a police station or the cybercrime cell immediately in case of a cybercrime. Now, to conclude, I would like to say that the technology is boon, but it can be banned for us if the cybercrime does not stop. So, government must take necessary measures by creating secret teams to counter the cyber crimes, and also we as the citizens of this nation must ensure that we follow all the precautions. That's all. Thank you and have a wonderful week ahead.
Good evening to you all. Respected Principal Sir, Adam Officer, Vice Principal Ma'am, members of the jury, members of the faculty, and all my invincible adjuncts present in this August gathering. I carry Avinash Singh and I am going to present my extrempo on the topic Indo-Japan Relationship. The friendship between India and Japan, long-rooted history in the cultural ties and spiritual affinity. It all started during the times of Ashoka and Rabindranath Tagore. When they used to visit Japan, Japan had welcomed them with great privilege. And Japan and India had started their diplomatic relations on 28th April 1952. After that, friendship between Japan and India grew like anything. And Japan is being considered as a key investor of India's economy because the countries with big GDPs do not invest in the projects where some internal security threats are there. For example, in Arunachal Pradesh and in the northeast regions, because people think that India may anytime cut these regions from the map or something. But Japan always used to invest in these regions. And also for the mega infrastructure projects in the Mumbai Delhi Industrial Corridor, Ahmedabad, Ahmedabad Mumbai bullet train project in Japan gave $40 billion loan to us at just 0.1% of interest. And Chennai Bangalore Industrial Corridor and Delhi Mumbai Freight Corridor, these are some parts within the India where Japan is investing, and outside India for Asia Africa Growth Corridor, and with involvement of other countries also, trilateral countries like in Bangladesh, Myanmar, there also Japan is investing a lot. Uh, and also they understand each other's problems in the aspects of defense. Both do different exercises like Dharma Guardian, which was started in 2018. GNEX, it is a naval exercise, and Vishnu Maitri, it's a naval in Indian Air Force exercise, and the Malabar exercise. They both have the common thread, that is Chinese dominance in the Indo-Pacific Ocean, and they both support each other's ideas, and they both work on it, and they will definitely do well. Thank you. बहुत संख्या बोल नहीं पाया.
Good evening to an all. Respected Principal Sir, Vice Principal Ma'am, Adam Officer Sir, member of the jury, member of the faculty, and all my dear educators present in this August gathering. I, Cadet Bhanukumar, and I am here to discuss you all with rural development. What do you mean by it? It means bringing of electricity in the villages, bringing of economic progresses in the villages. It doesn't mean that. It also means the health development of the rural people, like the bringing of credits for the human people and villages people. The main program was launched by the Modi government, like zero balance account opening, in which that the many villages get an opportunity to get credits, even though after they were not having any scholarships. Now I will discuss about electricity. The electricity is the main work and the main function of the villages and the cities. Through the electricity, the villages, the India peoples, the most of the Indian people depend upon the farming. The farming needs the electricity and the irrigation. Through which the irrigation we can do only through by the electricity. The money also leads to the development of the human health, and the many government has also opened the civil hospital in the villages also. Like we are also the most of the rural people are not having a land for the agriculture, so that they depend upon the bigger farmer to for the farming. And in case of they are not having a good farm, they go in debt, and this is called the debt trap. To overcome of the debt trap, the government also provide the credits. Now I will discuss with the economic problem. The main problem of the villagers are the economic. Because they are lacking in their economical, they are behind in, they are so lacking their economic, they can't even hold to their works. Now I would like to conclude that government should also launch such many projects so that the ruler can develop so smoothly. That's all like me. Thank you and have a nice day.
Good evening to one and all, respected principal sir, Adam officer, members of the jury, members of the faculty, and all my dear engineers present in this August house. Today, I get to know 2014 by current BJP government under the leadership of our Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi. The main aim of this mission is to clean the country, that is remove all the waste, that is solid waste or any type of waste from the country. As we know that the importance of the cleanliness, as we are heading towards the development recent slowly, gradually, and also the people, means the country, people are facing the problems related to their health issues. This is mainly the cleanliness or the clean environment they keep around themselves. First or the foremost thing that is required for the any human being is that his environment should be clean, so as to he will be active in the daily routines. So this scheme was introduced by our Prime Minister to strengthen the country's health and the health of the people of the nation. So this now talking about the various schemes under this mission, they include Swachhata Pakwada, as we also taking example of our own school. We also cleaning the surroundings of the school campus. If we take the examples of the metro cities, like talking about Mumbai, Pune, and the developing cities of the country, as they are developing, the people are more focusing on the their daily routines, and they are not focusing upon the environment or the factors or the actions which they take and the effect of their actions on the environment. So basically, to change the thoughts of the people of the country, the mission was introduced on the taking the theme of Mahatma Gandhi's in mind by the Modi, our Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi. Also, we know the importance of the health or the cleanliness in the today's liveliness. So the scheme or the mission started by the our Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in great importance, because if we are healthy and if we are fit, then only we can focus on doing the regular activities. So I think this is the important mission started by the India's government. That's all I have. Thank you.
A very good evening to one and all. Respected Principal Sir, Administrative Officer, Vice Principal Ma'am, members of the jury, members of the faculty, and all my dear Ajinkans present in this August gathering. Here is Cadet Anurag from Lal Bahadur Shastri House, and I am going to tell you something about the Indian-Pakistan relations. Originating from the same land, both the countries are having very difference of opinions. We have seen that the day when we have partitioned, the Pakistan has always tried to bleed India to thousands of cuts, but India has always been a big brother. I took care of Pakistan like a big brother. Talking about the imports and export of India and Pakistan, India exports cottons, minerals, and other chemical fertilizers to Pakistan, and we also import some things from Pakistan, like we import silk and other materials like tea and etc. from Pakistan. Talking about the support of terrorism from Pakistan, as Pakistan has always supported terrorism, but they didn't. But on the world platform, they have always neglected it. But they always support it, and they supported it, and we have seen its consequences. We have seen that there are many incidents happen in India. That was 26/11 attack, and also Pulwama attack, and many other things. And we have also seen that Pakistan has always tried to help our other neighboring allies like China to counter India. But India is also not far away from that. As we know that China has developed its string of pearls policy to counter India in the Indian Ocean region, and China has supported and Pakistan has supported them. But India is also not far, not India is also not better than them. India has took the necklace of diamond policy to counter the China's string of pearls policy. And as China has taken the support of Pakistan to build its China-Pakistan economic corridor from the Xinjiang of China to the Godar port of Pakistan. The China's main motive to build the CPEC was that in the state of Malacca, which is the shortest route between the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean, the major trade of the China was going on through that region. China was worried that in that region, India and USA are having very much control. China was worried that in situation of war, if India and USA block the Strait of Malacca, then their trade of China will deplete and their economy will go down. So to counter that, they thought of making the CPEC project, which is passing through the POK, and it also joins the Godar port. And in that project, Pakistan has supported China, but India has also taken steps to counter it. We are also taking steps and talking to the ASEAN countries, and we are also developing our ports and army bases in that area. To conclude, I would like to say that no matter whatever Pakistan does with India, we will always take care of them, as we both are in the same land. Thank you. And there.
Good evening to one and all. Respected President, Honorable Principal, Vice Principal, EDM Officer, members of the jury, members of the faculty, and all my invincible Ajinkans present in this august gathering. Today, I carry Suresh, and I am going to deliver a speech on the topic nationalism that states that the flow of the nation should be congruent with the interest of the state. And globalization is an exact opposite term to the nationalism, as it allows the other countries to invest in the nation. So I'll tell you about history of nationalism. So nationalism was introduced at the end of 18th century, and since then it has grown. It has played an important role in our national independence movement. As during the British Raj, our Rashtrapita, Mr. Mahatma Gandhi, started a movement that is Swadeshi movement. In this movement, he promoted the Swadeshi goods, or the goods which are produced in our own country. And due to this, the economy of the British Raj started falling gradually. And after this, after we got independence, the same nationalism policy was promoted throughout the country. But in the 1990s, this idea slowly began to decrease, as our nation's economy was falling sharply, and our nation was going through a financial crisis. So our finance minister at that time, Mr. Manmohan Singh, introduced globalization in our country. It allowed other countries to trade or to invest in our country. Through this globalization, the Indian market was made available to the countries throughout the world. So this has made many good impact on our nation. Nationalism nowadays, many nations are preferring the closed economy, that is to produce their own goods. India is also making steps towards nationalism, as it is going self-reliant in the defense sector as well as in other sectors too. As many steps are taken by the Indian government, like India has built its own aircraft carrier, and India is also going indigenous, like making of Tejas Mark 1 and working on Tejas Mark 2, which will be totally indigenous. So at last, to conclude, I think that nationalism and globalization should be taken care equally, as they both will help in growing of country's economy. That's all I have with me. Thank you, and have a nice day.
A very good evening to one and all. Here is Cadet Suraj, and today I stand here to brief to give you my thoughts on the topic cybercrime. A very good evening to one and all, respected principal, Adam officer, members of the jury, members of the faculty, and all my dear Jinkins present in this August House. Now, what is cybercrimes? Cybercrimes are the crimes which are related to computers or any electronic devices which handle your personal data. The cybercrimes, the computers can be used as a tool or a target. The computers which are used, the computers which are used can transfer viruses and also emails by which people do cyber crimes. The Indian government has made national agencies to tackle cyber crimes. There are various types of cyber crimes like cyber trafficking and cyber crimes related to extortion, cyber terrorism, etc. Now, what is cyber terrorism? The terrorism which is done in the form which is done related to computers is called as cybercrime. For example, the IED explosions are also termed under cybercrimes. Thus, cyber crimes. There is a heavy need in our country India for people to know about cyber crimes. I would thank our vice principal ma'am because she once conducted or she once brought a cyber crime related uh, related program to our school, which made us aware about cyber crimes. Cyber crimes also contain the cyber extortion, which is when people extort money from you by various means. Now, how to prevent cyber crime? Preventing cyber crimes is not a very difficult task. You can make very strong passwords of emails and remember it without forgetting, and not and make sure that you don't share any OTPs to anyone. The and always be sure that whenever your banking agencies call you, if the number is not is a normal number, that means it starts with a country code, then it might be of a fraud. To conclude, I would say that that awareness should be made in our country towards cybercrime because it is a very big problem in our country. That's all with me. Thank you.
Very good evening to you all. Respected Principal Group Captain Ujjwal Gormade, Administrative Officer Lieutenant Colonel P.D. Patil, Vice Principal Colonel Manisha Dabas, and Senior Master, members of the jury, members of the faculty, and all my dear Jinkians present in this August House. Today, I, Cadet Advait Gore, am here to deliver a lecturette on the topic surrogate mother. Let me begin with a story. There is a couple. Just imagine that there is a couple with the husband name is Rajesh and the wife's name is Nikita. Now they are married and Nikita is working in films. She is a film star. So now what if they want to have a baby? If they want to have a baby, then Nikita would have to get pregnant and she might also lose her beauty, which will affect her films naturally. So what do? They go to a licensed surrogate agency and ask for a surrogate mother. Now, first, I will tell you what is surrogacy. Surrogacy is basically renting a womb. Means if you are a husband and wife and there are some problems like cervix is damaged or uterus is damaged, then you will not be able to have a baby. So when you go to a doctor, the doctor removes the egg from the female and sperm from the male and puts it in an competent uterus which is of another lady. The lady might be of 21 to 35 years of age. Now, there are two perspectives to this. Is surrogacy good or bad? Some people say that it is bad. Means if you can't have a baby, then you should adopt one. Why should you give another woman such pain? But the benefits of this are, if there is a poor lady who needs some money, then this couple will get her as a surrogate mother. Throughout, whenever the child is in the other lady's womb, the couple will pay her ransom salary and also take care of her health. Afterwards, after she delivers a baby, this couple gives her lakhs of amounts. Now, there were such problems leading to this surrogacy. Means if the lady who is a surrogate mother delivers a baby and there is some natural calamities in the baby such that his hand is not there, then the couple will not accept the baby. In another way, if the baby is too strong and the surrogate mother tells that the baby I will keep it with myself. So these are the problems which can be dealt in surrogacy. That's all I have with me. Thank you and have a nice day.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a result in the round. Now, the turn of our open house speaker, and the first open house speaker is Cadet Alinesh Kumar. He also got precisely 3 minutes to prepare. Cadet Alinesh Kumar.
Good evening to one and all. Member of the faculty and all dear my adjuncts. Today here I am Cadet Anjas Kumar and I am going to brief you on about the Indus Water Treaty. This is the treaty between the India and Pakistan for sharing the water of Indus River. This treaty, now I am going to about history. This treaty firstly taken by the WHO and when the in the under the Prime Minister of India Jawaharlal Nehru and President of Pakistan Ayub Khan, and now this treaty is in Indus River consists of mainly three distributaries in which India is taking water from eastern rivers like uh, Vees, Satluj, and Ravi. India is taking about 20% water, and it is of about 1 point. It is about 3.33 million acres per feet. And because of this water, India's north state are getting plenty of water for irrigation. About 80% of the Jammu Kashmir land is irrigated by these rivers, and to control over the water of Indus for Pakistan, there are rivers like Chenab, Indus, and Chenab, Indus, and Jhelum. And for according to the treaty, they are using about 80% of the water. So they are also getting a sufficient amount of irrigation in Pakistan. Actually, this treaty is very helpful for both of the country, and as we all know that we have more conflicts between our forces, but our military forces, there are many conflicts, but there is no impact on this treaty. So this is because of this treaty is as considered as most successful treaty between countries in the world. So according to this treaty, they have to both of countries, they have to meet once in a year for importance for the any new step for the treaty. So I think many new treaties will come with our neighbor countries. So we will make our development better than other countries. Thank you.
A very good evening to one and all present here. Respected principal sir, administrative officer, vice principal ma'am, senior master, jury members, teachers, and all my dear Ajinkans present here. This is Cadet Manish, and today I am going to tell you something about. I am going to brief you something about the whiskey war. Friends, whiskey war. You heard the word right. The whiskey. It is a beverage which we all know, which we all are introduced with. So Whiskey War is a pseudo confrontation of Hans Island, which is present between Canada and Greenland. Something about the Hans Island. The Hans Island is present in the Canley Channel, which is there in between Canada and the Greenland. The Greenland, it is a province of Denmark. So the dispute is between Denmark and Canada. So something about the dispute. Before in the late 1980s, when the two nations that are Denmark and the Canada, they were quenching their thirst by dividing the islands that the island is there and there. So they found an island which is Hans Island, which is 1 square kilometer only. The area of the island is 1 square kilometer. So they thought that they should left the island and later they will divide it. So in 1984, from 1984, the two nations decided that they would quench the island, they would take the island themselves. In 1984, tragedy happened that the minister, along with his minister of Canada, along with his army, went to the Hans Island and they just inspected the island they kept a whiskey bottle, which you all maybe introduced of. They kept whiskey bottle along with they raised their flag and with a board which was on which written the welcome to Dennis Island, and they left the island. The same year, news came when the news got into the ears of Danish people. The same year, the minister of Denmark, along with his army, went to the island, and he too took a cognac along with him. Friends, let me tell you, cognac is just like whiskey. It is a beverage of Danish people, and he kept that cognac along with he raised his flag there, and he also put a board there which mentions "Welcome to Danish Island." This dispute was taking place, and recently in 2000, around 2005, the two nations decided to talk. And recently, in the month of April or September, August or September, a tiding came into existence that the two nations have decided that they should divide the island, and 60% of the island will be of Denmark and 40% will be of Canada. That's all. Thank you.
Cadet Satish Shinde, Cadet Satish Shinde, Cadet Vantraj Mane Patil, Cadet Manav Datta, Cadet Jay Sindha, please come.
Good evening to one and all. I get one respected principal, respected Adam officer, respected vice principal, and all the members of juries and all my dear juniors. Myself, Cat Ron Convert, I am here to talk on the recent incident of Morbi Bridge collapse was that was due to the corruption which took place in the renovation of Morbi Bridge. Let me tell you, the Morbi Bridge that bridge is situated in Gujarat, where it was built by the Morbi's king. Earlier, when it was introduced or opened, that time the capacity of bridge was just 7 people. After that, year passed, few times renovation took place. After few times, that renovation was stopped due to COVID. It was stopped, and the whole thing was under the Morbi Municipal Corporation. After that, they they gave it contract to Overa company, which company builds electronical things. When it was given that time, Overa chairman said. Overa chairman said that the budget to renovate the bridge is 2 crore, and when the whole incident took place, the incident took place after just 2 weeks of the renovation work was done. That time when the work was done, it was found that only 24 lakhs was spent on the renovation of the bridge. And after doing whole investigation, it was found that only 12 lakhs were spent by the local contractors, and the remaining whole money was being taken by the chairman and all other peoples. And the main thing is, that it was not renovated, but other thing is the capacity was allotted. It was just 20 people. But on that particular night on the Diwali, when it was open, it was seen that the one who was selling the ticket vendors who were all present there, they sell nearly 1300 tickets, and nearby 200 people were present on that bridge. It is just a blunder of organizing things at that particular place. That's all. Thank you.
Indo-Russia relationship. Good evening to one and all. Respected principal, Adam officer, vice principal, member of the jury, member of faculty, and all my dear Indians present in this August gathering. Today, I, Kate Ayush, and I am going to tell you about Indo-Russia relationship. The relationship was started in early 16 when Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi and Russian Defense Minister Nikita Khrushchev signed a treaty of peace that states that any attack on India will be considered as attack on Russia, and happened in 1971 when Pakistan attacked on India. At that time, USA, UK, and many more countries were supporting Pakistan. At that HNS Hercules was deployed on eastern coast. At that time, 22nd Fleet of Russian Navy saved us and cleared both the coast
and given us aerial support. And successfully in December 1971, India liberated a new nation named Bangladesh. There are many more relationships like in Russia. Presently, 22 universities, in 22 universities, Indian languages are taught, and there are many defense programs also like BrahMos, Su-30 MKI, S-400 missile defense system, and many more. And like petroleum and many more things are supplied to Russia every year. At last, I want to say that relationship between India and Russia should be more powerful because it is helpful for our country. Thank you and have a nice day.
पोजीशन का कर रहे हो मैं बोल रहा कि इंडिविजुअल्स का टोटल कर दो टोटल ऑफ द हाउस
ठीक है कर
Take this.
Good evening to one and all present here. Today, I, Cadet Arya from class 8B, I am going to tell you something about social networking sites. Social network. It is the addiction of today's generation. Due to COVID-19 pandemics and the online classes, many of the children have involved in this social networking sites. These mainly consist of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. For making this account on the social network sites, they have set the restriction on it of 18 for the age of 18 plus. But many of the children make their fake account for using this social networking sites. They just do time pass on these sites and they don't get any of the results on this. This addiction can be harmful to today's generation. So let me tell you one thing. When once Mark Zuckerberg turned off his server of Facebook, many of the users have given him wrong less review because of this 2 hours server off. This tells us that social is is a very big addiction of today's generation. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
A very good evening to you all. Here is Cat Manas, and I am here to tell you all about a very general and important topic, which reads safety of children in school. But let me tell you that the children's safety is very important in school because while some children are there, like in many places, the criminals usually look out for schools because from schools there are many children, so that they can do such crimes of kidnapping them or looting them. So therefore, students should follow safety rules so they can be protected. The first safety rule is that the children should every time children should be in groups, like they should not travel alone to their homes or wherever they live, because if any kidnapper sees the alone children, then he will surely look out for him. Secondly, we should not tolerate bullying and other activities. Like if some boy is there, he is bullying you, and you should immediately report to the staff members. Third thing is that we should always uh, we should not like if somebody comes and you're always telling your like you're in your location at every time because something happens like this, then he can immediately take actions. And if something like this happens, friend, and you should immediately report it to station. But we are very lucky to have such a boarding school because we don't have to face any problems in this school. Like we have a private protection here. Nobody can come here or bully us. And every time, 24 hours, our security guard is there to protect us. There are many teachers who always keep on asking us about our problems. That's all I have with me. Thank you.
Good evening to one and all present here. Respected Principal Sir, Administrative Officer, Vice Principal, members of the jury, members of the faculty, and all the dear Ajinkins present in this August gathering. Today, I, Cadet Anveshi Das from 6th Nehru House, and I am going to present on the topic gender equality. Since you are a little child, some boys are taught by their parents that do not cry since you are a boy. You shouldn't learn to cry. And due to this, they suppress their emotions throughout their entire life due to the teaching they receive since their childhood. But it's not the case. It shouldn't be as such. And there are certain prejudices held against girls and boys that girls should like pink color, should like to play with dolls, and not like any movies and sit quietly and learn to do all the household chores. But that's not true. Every person is equal and they should have their own rights and choices according to their likes and dislikes. You shouldn't encourage a person to uh, go. You shouldn't encourage a person to follow gender inequality, as it is up to the youth of today's India to encourage the different prejudices that is held against since the ancient times. Uh, women are women are suddenly rising to the top in different companies and coming on a higher rank. And our VP ma'am is also a great inspiration for all of girls. And even men can learn to be chefs. And some of the greatest people in the professions which are considered as a taboo against men, they are the best in those fields. Uh, I, as my personal belief, I feel that every individual should have their own choice of likes, dislikes, and their own personal perspective on their own beliefs. That's all I have with me. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we must appreciate her because she is from 6th standard and this competition was meant for senior cadets, 11th and 12th standard. I think if you cannot, appreciate it, at least you can listen to her carefully and in silence. Most of you are making noise. I think we must take a clue from her She is still in sixth standard and she has spoken wonderfully. And the senior cadets, perhaps we expect a lot from them. Okay, so now I think prize distribution committee is ready with the result. Now I request Simon ma'am to kindly, carry out the prize distribution ceremony.
Shivam, come here. Shivam, Suraj is coming, sir.
Good evening to one and all. SAINIK School, since its inception, was solely meant to empower cadets to join NDA. The lecturette competition we witness today are organized with this sole aim and for the overall development of the cadets. Today's competition is an exposure to all those cadets who are aspiring towards a PM. Lecturette competition is a task assigned to each participant wherein he has to select a topic out of the 4 given topic on the card and prepare his speech within the specified time. The participant should be quick to understand the key issue in order to address the panel, then organize the sequence of ideas, presenting them logically within 3 minutes. Today we all had an opportunity to lend an ear to the outstandingly delivered lecturette by all the participants with their fast decision-making ability. Now it's time to give away the prizes to the winners of today's competition. May I now request the principal, SAINIK School SATARA, to kindly come to the stage to award the winners. Sir, please. To start with, Cadet Suyash Wagmare from Karve House secured 3rd position. Second position goes to Cadet Avinash Prajapati of Karve House. And the first position is bagged by Cadet Atharva Disle of Shastri House. Now the certificate of participation is awarded to the following cadets. To start with, Cadet Pranav Kumar of Shastri House. Cadet Vaishnavi Shelke of Karve House. Cadet Arjun Godse from Tilak House. Cadet Yash Varshne from Rana Pratap House. Cadet Harsh Pawar from Shastri House. Cadet Shreya Shinde from Karve House. Cadet Shivam Sisodia from Tilak House. Cadet Krishna Shukla of Rana Pratap House. Cadet Bhanu Kumar of Tilak House. Cadet Pranav Pawar of Rana Pratap House. Cadet Anurag Yadav from Shastri House. Cadet Suraj Deshmukh from Tilak House. And Cadet Advait Gore of Rana Pratap House. Now the certificate to the open house speaker. First to come is Cadet Anujesh Kumar from Karve House. Cadet Rohan Gandhi from Tilak House. Cadet Hemant Kumar of Shastri House. Cadet Satesh Shinde of Tilak House. Okay, I correct myself. Cadet Manish Kumar from Karve House. Cadet Manas Jagtap from Shastri House. Cadet Arya Ambawale. And Cadet Anveshi Das from Nehru House. Now the presentation of the trophies. Fourth position goes to Tilak House. Third position goes to Rana Pratap House secured second position. And the winner of Interhouse Lecturette competition for the year 2022-23 is Karve House. House Master allowing the house captain to come and receive the trophy on behalf of the house. Thank you, sir. May I now request you, sir, to kindly address.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Respected principal, respected Adam officer, respected vice principal, senior master, all my Ajinkyans, staff, and to conclude, these were the only sentences which were spoken fluently. Isn't it? Anyways, it was a very well organized lecturate competition. Organization was good. But the participation, not up to the mark. The way the cadets have presented themselves needs a lot of improvement. Just not up to the mark. Like there are 2-3 sentences which are spoken. Why those sentences come fluently? Because you are aware of it. You know, respect this. So what is it, sir? If you are aware, you can speak. In most of the cases I found, either, I don't know, was there a lot of burden on you? You're standing there as if you're so scared, or waiting for that bell to conclude. The moment the bell is rung, to conclude. Some of the speakers, after the bell rang, concluded very fast. Some of the speakers spoke very well thereafter. Because till that time he was waiting how to pass the time. The back of the mind was involved in कि मेरा time कैसे जाए. The back of mind was not involved in what I am speaking. The back of mind was only involved in passing the time. It's not your fault. It comes with experience. There are 2 things involved in lecturing. Firstly, your power of communication, how you speak, how you express, and secondly is knowledge. If you are able to express yourself properly, you can use the knowledge that you have. You can structure it properly and speak on it. If any of the things are missing, then lecture will always go ahead. Go haywire. In most of the forums, vice principal, Adam also, all the teachers, why do you always tell you people to increase your knowledge, increase your awareness, read books? Why we have this news reading? All these things are there basically to increase your knowledge. The more you read, the more you are aware, the more knowledge you have. If you have more knowledge, then you will be able to present it in a structured fashion. A 6th standard girl could pull out because her power of communication was good. and she chose the topic which she was aware of. So another important thing is choose a topic on which you can speak. Lecturette, you have to divide your topic into 3 parts. The cadet Atharva, he did it very meticulously. The topic was very easy, cybercrime. Introduce the topic, tell the definition of the topic in whatever way it is possible. Come to the main body, explain, like he said, cybercrime is divided into 3 types. Phishing, hacking, and cyber terrorism. There are more parts to it. But then he remembered to. Now, after giving the definition of cybercrime, now he has time, okay. Now he's talking about hacking, now he's talking about phishing, now he's talking about cyber terrorism. That is the main body. It is very easy to, speak for 2.5 minutes if you divide the topic in a proper manner. Introduction, main body, and conclusion. Or sometimes you can like what Gore attempted. That is also a good way of putting it across. But very faulted. First, you should have introduced the topic. What is surrogacy? You have to define it. Okay. So all the cadets, your topic, first you should have introduced the topic. What is the definition of the topic? Spend some time on that particular topic. Then come to the main body. And then conclude. So when you are thinking about this for 3 minutes, you should structure that in your mind. Then it becomes easy. So to get that structure in your mind, it doesn't come in one day. Why we have so many capsules, personality development, this, that, and then we have introduced lectures in the assembly, surprise, lectures. It is basically to imbibe in you that whenever you get a topic, you should know how to talk on that topic. It needs practice. Like I always tell all the cadets, spend 5 minutes in front of the mirror. Speak to yourself on whatever topic it is possible. You will understand whether you are speaking correctly or not. This is how you should practice. If you have a good friend who is ready to listen to your crap, that is a better way of practicing. Prepare a topic, ask him to listen, and take a real feedback from him. If nobody is ready to listen to your crap, stand in front of the mirror and practice it. Take general topics. There are so many general topics which are available, which didn't need any statistics, which didn't need any special knowledge. It just needed common sense and general awareness. So, the cadets of SAINIK school SATARA, for that matter, any SAINIK school, the grooming right from the 6th standard, it is all about this only. From games to extracurricular activities and then involvement in this kind of activities, it is basically to see to it that overall you develop your personality, and whenever the situation arises, you should be able to speak. There should not be any stage fear. And whatever is the topic, 3 minutes is a very minuscule time, you should be able to speak on that topic. Anyways, I don't want to demotivate you. I just like said, this competition is held after 2 years. So it will have its repercussions. Nevertheless, hereafter, for everybody, be aware, read more, gather knowledge, be inquisitive. What do you understand by being inquisitive? Anybody? Anybody? You should be always asking questions. You have learned a topic in your classroom, a particular topic, photosynthesis, a simple topic. When you are walking on the road, you should be able to visualize. Okay, photosynthesis has been taught to us like this. Okay, now photosynthesis must be taking place. Sun is there, plant is there, leaf is there. If you do not understand, you should ask questions to yourself. If you are not getting the answer, you should ask the questions to your teacher. Or use the computers in the dormitory to find the answers. That is inquisitiveness. There are so many things are taught to you in the classroom. You just listen and forget. Don't forget it. Start asking questions about that in your mind and get the answers from outside. That is what is inquisitiveness. If you are inquisitive right from the beginning, you slowly start getting answers about each and everything. Be inquisitive. If you are inquisitive, you will have that longingness to earn more knowledge. How the sound travels. If you are inquisitive, you will try and find out more. How light travels. If you are inquisitive, you will try and find more answers about it. That is how it should be. You should be asking questions again and again to yourself and then finding the answers to it. That is how your foundation or your knowledge base will increase. There is no other way of being good in lecture other than having knowledge and able to express yourself nicely. We have started the classes for English communication precisely for this. So that people, the cadets should not get scared. You should be able to express. So make use of these classes. It is not for wasting your time. These classes are with purpose. Purpose that at some point of time, when you will be here on the stage or you will be going to the SSG, you should be able to express yourself, you should be able to communicate yourself properly. And right from 6th standard, the various topics which you are taught, various exposure you have been given, it is basically so that by the time you reach the 12th standard, you gather enough of knowledge that when you come here, you should be able to speak on any other topic. Anyways, my congratulations to the winners, and I appreciate that all of you have come here on the stage and all those open speakers, they have come and spoken on this stage. But by piece of advice, you attempted well, you tried well, but it was not good enough. As an outsider, if you get a chief guest here from outside, he will always come on the stage and say, it was a very good, well organized, well spoken, well this, well this, well this, well this, well this. I am not an outsider. I am from here, so I will always take an opportunity to criticize and see to it that you are sharpened more. Okay? So take it in a right stride. If I am telling you that this is not good enough, it is not to disappoint you or demotivate you. It is asking you to put little more hard work. Okay, put little more hard work. Outsiders will tell you have done very well. Complacency sets in. Don't become complacent. Okay, you have attempted well, you have all tried well, but you can do much better than this. Each one of you have got a good capability. The way you have come and stood here and we trying to deliver the lecture, I can make out that all of you have got a good capacity. Okay, it is only more efforts are required from your side. Okay, more knowledge about the topic, more way of thinking how to structure the topic. Okay, that you have to learn. That people from outside can always tell you, but practice has to be done by yourself. Okay, I cannot replace one of you. Okay, I can only tell you this is how you should go about it. but practice has to be done by you people only. Okay? So don't take it as this thing for SSB only. This kind of skill is always helpful to you wherever you go and whatever you do. Okay? My congratulations to Mr. Manoj. A very well organized and well attempted competition. And in future, I'm sure that all the cadets will take this competition more seriously. And for that, the preparation is not just before the competition. The preparation is throughout the year, throughout the tenure you are going to spend in SAINIK school. Every time you should be gaining knowledge, you should be trying and express yourself in the best possible manner so that at the right time you are able to deliver properly. Thank you very much. Good night.
Power of expression is the quality which every SSL in SSP looks for and on which there is no compromise. I hope you all have enjoyed this informative and thrilling lecture competition. It is time for the vote of thanks. It is my honor and proud privilege to put all my gratitude into words. On behalf of my team, I would like to thank our principal for his gracious presence for this event, and we are indeed grateful to him for his inspiring words of wisdom for the cadet participants. I also would like to place on record the guidance, direction, and support rendered by the Adam officer for this event. Ladies and gentlemen, an event like this needs consistent and veritable guidance throughout the process of preparation. I can say this with astute firmness that my vice principal has been a great source of inspiration and support for planning and execution of this event. I would also like to express my gratitude towards our senior masters, esteemed judges, and all faculty members for their wholehearted support and contribution for this event. I would also like to thank the team of our general employees. Special mention Mr. Sabuke, QM section for their valuable contribution for organizing this event. At the end, I would like to thank all cadet participants and appointments for helping me in organizing this event. With this, I declare this function is over. Thank you. Good evening.
दोनों का नाम लेंगे once the school gets over tomorrow.